Hey there everyone, Chris Mack here, and today we're going to do a battle royale against two pocket camp stoves, the tried and true Esbit and the every camping store's budget brand Coghlans. So a little bit about these items first of all. This one ships with 6 fuel tabs in it. This one ships with 24. However, Coghlan's does say to burn multiple tabs to be able to accomplish your cooking needs. When it comes to price, they're about the same. I want to say that this one was like 10 bucks and this one was like 11. They're truly within like $1.50 or $2 of each other whenever it comes to price. What we're going to do is a water boiling test with these after we go ahead and take a look at them. Okay, so starting with the Esbit, it does come with these little tabs, and there are 6 of them in total, and they are individually wrapped. When it comes to the stove itself, what you would expect from a small pocket stove. Now on to Coghlans. It is definitely bigger and holds all the tabs in there. And that's one thing that did kind of upset me a little bit about Esbit, but I'll get that to that here in a second. So here are all 24 tabs. These do sit right in there without an issue. Just to give you a size comparison here, so here's the Coghlans, here's the Esbit. The Esbit actually fits inside of the Coghlans. So depending on the surface area that you need for cooking, you might want the bigger one as well. Here's the one thing that is disappointing about Esbit. So like I said, here's all 24 tabs. These fit right down in there and you're good to go. However, whenever it comes to the Esbit itself, these will not, they fit inside, kind of, but you can't close this up. So you can probably only put 4 tabs into this for travel. You can't put all 6. So if you're looking at your burn time, if you have 6 blocks for the Esbit, but you can only fit 4 in there, that's 4 burns. And if you're using 4 tabs at a time for your boil in this, you can actually get 6 total burns out of the Coghlans. Something to keep in mind there. Let's get to the burn test. So for the dry run, pun intended, using identical cups, the Esbit is a little bit more suited for a cup because it does sit right on there. The bigger Coghlans, you kind of have to finesse it on there to make sure that it actually stays in place. But that being said, if you are using something like a military cook set, the US military round oval ones that are bigger, then this would definitely be more ideal. Now on for the test itself. So Esbit, Coghlans. The goal of this test is this one comes with 24 tabs. This one comes with 6 tabs. Because of that, we are going to do the number of total burns possible, which means we're going to use 1 tab for 6 runs, and then 4 tabs would also equal 6 runs, because this one does say that you should use more tabs versus the Esbit says to only use 1 tab. Well, it doesn't say to only use 1 tab, but it does say that 1 tab is sufficient for the cook time. This says it's going to cook for 9. This says it's going to burn for 9 minutes. This one says it's going to burn for 12 minutes. And for our test, we've got the timer here. We're not going to mess around. The goal is to get these both lit as fast as possible. So I'm going to use the blowtorch to get these lit. And then for our water, to make sure everything that is fair, we're going to do 16 ounces total, 2 8-ounce bottles per cup. Okay, I will push start on the clock whenever both are lit and both cups are placed on top. Okay, both are now lit. Here we go. Okay, here at the 6-minute mark, the Coghlans is at a roaring boil, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one off because now we know 6 minutes is how long it takes to get to a boil with the equivalent tab numbers comparison on this. So 6 minutes, roaring boil. We're going to take this off and we're going to see how long it takes for these to burn out, because again, this is supposed to go for 9 full minutes. So now we'll see how long that takes. Okay, here we are at the 10-minute mark. We're finally at a boil over here. Not quite a roaring boil. It started to do this probably about a minute ago, but I would say that this is definitely our boiling. If you're going to be using like a mountain house or something like that, this is where we would be. So at the 10-minute mark, here we are with the Esbit at a boil. And then we are also a minute beyond what the Coghlan said it would burn to, because it said 9 minutes. Here we are at almost 10 and a half. So now that we've got our boil here with the Esbit, and again, not quite as roaring of a boil as what the other one was. Obviously here, let me go ahead and take this off. You can tell that the flame itself was a lot different from the beginning too. This has always been a higher, brighter flame, where this has been a duller, low flame. Okay, here at the 13-minute mark, I would pretty much say that the Esbit stove has gone out. Okay, and just a little bit after 17 minutes, the last flame has gone out on the Coghlans. It hasn't been usable, kind of like how the Esbit was still burning at that 11-minute mark in there. You could definitely tell at the 11 minutes you weren't going to cook off of that. For Coghlans, same thing. Probably about the 15-minute mark, you weren't going to be cooking off of it anymore, but it was still burning. So there you go. There's our times for how long both of them will burn, with equal amounts of what comes in the kit. Okay, I definitely was not expecting that. I was not expecting the Coghlans to come out ahead. However, that is comparing number of burns equally. Again, Esbit comes with 6 tabs, Coghlans comes with 24. So if you divide your 24 by 6, that gives us 4 tabs each. So doing it that way, equal burn time, Coghlans definitely comes out ahead. Next thing I'm gonna try here is I wanna go ahead and do a redo on this, doing 1 Esbit and doing 2 of the Coghlans tabs to see that if 2 is gonna be comparable, or even if you should do 3, because then that means if you're gonna get more burns for about the same price, and it's still going to accomplish the job, then we definitely have a clear winner here. So let's see what that does next. Okay. Both cups were given ample time to cool down. I did completely hose them down. They are cool to the touch, so that way we're not worrying about residual heat in the cups, and also new water as well. So that way we don't have to worry about, was the water already heated before. So completely starting from scratch here. Here we go again, but the difference is going to be 1 tab versus 2 tabs. And that would mean that this, that for what comes in the pack, that would mean 6 burns versus now 12 burns in this. So here we go. Go ahead and get it. Lit, yep. And we're lit. All right. On there. All right. Okay, here we are at about the 8.5-minute mark. And honestly, both flames are starting to peter, but this is definitely more of a roaring boil than the Esbit is, but this one is about, it's still got some energy in there, so we're gonna let it keep going. But see, so it's starting to kind of die down as the Esbit did, as well as it was finishing up its burn time at the first go around. So in short, 1 tab is the equivalent, 1 Esbit tab is the equivalent to 2 of Coghlan's tabs, because they're both coming to about that same amount of boil right before they burn out. So this one here, no, it still does have some energy in there. This is more of that roaring boil coming up here at 9 minutes. So, but the Coghlan's is definitely getting ready to burn out here. 2 tabs did bring it to a full boil, but then it kind of quit. This, we're at a full boil as well, but it is it is also getting ready to quit as well. So if you're looking for comparable energy, because they both came to a boil about the same time and they both continued to boil a little bit beyond that. This was a more fierce boil at the start. This was kind of that slower boil continually at the 10-minute mark here. And we're gonna go ahead and pull this off here. So at 10 minutes, this one is about to go completely out. So we did get that 9-minute burn time as said for one tab with this. Even though it was two, I mean, they're gonna burn at the same rate. Yeah, I am quite surprised here. So we're gonna let this finish going here because it is also about to burn out here. It's probably got another minute on it, and then we'll finish up with some final thoughts. First, before I get to the overall review, I do want to say that there are links for everything down below in the description. Please check that out. It doesn't cost you any extra, and it does help me out here at the channel with funding stuff like this. That being said, let's get into the review. Which option would I truly pick based on what we've seen? Both of these products have pros and cons. Overall, the Esbit is a smaller unit. So I think that if you're using a camp cup, which I primarily do, you would be better off with the Esbit. Now, if you're going to be using a camp set, then I think you would be better off with the Coghlans because it is larger. Both of these are multi-fuel that you can use the alcohol burner in both. You can use the tabs in both. And for both of these as well, you can just put sticks in there and do a little stick burner with this. Both of these are good options for multi-fuel, but I think this one would do it better because you've got more room to work with within your notch. When it comes to the overall construction, this is gonna stand the test of time. This you can truly throw in a pack and not have to worry about it. This, if it's in the bottom of your pack and you drop your pack on the ground pretty hard, you might not have this anymore. Just a heads up there. Considering the fact that they're pretty close in price, like I said, I forget which one is which, honestly. One was like 10 something, the other was 11 something. They're within $1.50 of each other price-wise. So it just depends on what you're wanting to use it for. Last but not least, where do they stack up when it comes to fuel? Fuel's the big one here. I was pleasantly surprised and truly shocked. I've used Esbit for a very, very long time. I'm a huge fan of it. It's consistent. That's what I like about Esbit tabs. It says it burns for 12 minutes. It burns for 12 minutes. It burns longer, but you have 12 minutes of cook time. They are consistent. They are well known for that. I do like them. However, anyone who's ever used Esbit will tell you that they have one heck of an odor to them. It's not bad, it's just noticeable. And these little aluminum packs that these come in, these puncture extremely easily, and you can tell when you do it because you can open your pack and go, whew, my stove's open. Even just waving this in front of my face, I can tell one of these has a small hole in it somewhere because I can smell this right now. Again, it's not a bad smell, it's just a very noticeable smell. However, the Coghlan's tabs, there is no odor at all to these. Very, very shocking. Also, whenever it comes to the overall burn times, the fact that, yes, it does take 2 of these to equal 1 Esbit tab, the fact that you can buy more of these for the cost is definitely something to note. The Coghlan's tabs way, way cheaper. You just need to know 2-to-1 ratio and then buy accordingly for what you want to do. Going forward, what am I going to be doing personally? The Esbit stove, this is a stronger stove. The fact that I cook with a cup more than I cook with a kit, this is definitely the better option for me as well. But also, fun little surprise here. So the Coghlan's tabs come in 24 packs, but they're 2 individual sleeves of 12. That said, I cut them down, and surprisingly enough, inside this little kit here, I have 3x3 that I re-vacuum sealed to fit, along with a mini Bic. Fits in there perfectly. So I can have my entire cook set with fuel, with ignition, all in one tiny little package. So for me, my overall answer is a combination of the both. I really like the Esbit stove, but the Coghlan's tabs. So overall with this little kit in this configuration, using the Coghlan's tabs, knowing that I have to do a 2-to-1 ratio, I still get 4 burns because I can only fit 4 Esbit tabs in this stove. I'm still getting 4 burns, but I can choose to make one of those burns a 3 tab because I'll have an extra 1 because there's 9 in here instead of 8. One of those can be a 3 tab for a longer cooking time should I need that. Or if I truly need to build a fire, 1 tab can be an absolute spare for getting a fire started as well. If I just need to, oh crap, I need to get this started, I don't have time to get tinder and all this other jazz. Just throw a tab in, get your fire started. That is the Coghlan versus Esbit stove. For me, in summary, I would go with the Esbit stove with Coghlan tabs. That's just me. Links for everything are down below in the description. Again, that does help. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I am going to be doing another video here soon about EDC Fire. And with that, there will be a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so very much for watching. And as always, it's Chris Mack.